Hi, my name is Alan Burney. I'm a bus driver for Dayton Public Schools and an OBI instructor. Today we're going to be doing a pre-trip on a Thomas C2 bus. The importance of a pre-trip is basically just checking all your parts, making sure that it's safe to drive on the road with children. All right, to secure my bus, I'm going to make sure that my parking brake is pulled, my bus is in neutral, the keys in my pocket, and the wheels are chocked. Now we're going to do the outside pre-trip. As I approach my bus, I'm going to be looking for any leaning to the left or the right, which will indicate lower flat tire, broken shock absorbers, or broken or missing leaf springs. You also want to look underneath your bus for any puddles, which will indicate leaks. We're going to start at the top of the bus. We have our 3 amber clearance lights, our yellow reflective tape, our amber and red student pickup lights, our left and right turn signal indicators, and our headlights. They are all clean, not cracked, broken, or missing. My mirror brackets are secure. My hood latches, mirror brackets, mirror brackets, mirror brackets, hood latches. They are all secure. They're not bent, cracked, or broken. Here I have my coolant reservoir. It's secure. It's not bent, cracked, or broken with no leaks. I'll check here, add here if needed. The hoses to it is secure. It has no abrasions, bulges, or cuts with no leaks. Here I have my alternator. It's secure. It's not bent, cracked, or broken. The wire to it is secure. It's not frayed, cracked, or broken. I have my serpentine belt. It's secure. It's not frayed, cracked, or broken. I shouldn't be able to pull no more than a ½ inch. I have my water pump, which is secure. It's not bent, cracked, or broken with no leaks. And the hoses to it is secure. It has no abrasions, bulges, or cuts with no leaks. Both my alternator and my water pump are belt driven. I have my frame. It's secure. It's not bent, cracked, or broken with no unauthorized welts. I have my leaf spring mount, which is secure. It's not bent, cracked, or broken with no unauthorized welts. I have my windshield reservoir. It's secure. It's not bent, cracked, or broken with no leaks. I'll check here, add here if needed. And the hoses to it is secure. It has no abrasions, bulges, or cuts with no leaks. Come over here. I have my leaf spring mount. It's secure. It's not bent, cracked, or broken. Evenly spaced, none are missing. Right here, if you come over here, I have my U-bolts. This little part right here that look like a U. It's secure and my bolts are tight. I have my shock absorber. It's secure. It's not bent, cracked, or broken or bulging with no leaks. Right here, I have my brake chamber. It's secure. It's not bent, cracked, or broken with no leaks. And the hoses to it is secure. It has no abrasions, bulges, cuts with no leaks. Now I have my tire. I should have no less than 32 seconds of tread depth. These cannot be recapped or regrooved. I have my sidewall. It should be smooth with no abrasions, bulges, or cuts with no leaks. I have my brake caliper, which is secure. It's not bent, cracked, or broken. I also have my brake pads. They're secure. They're not bent, cracked, or broken. They should be evenly worn, not dangerously thin. I have my rotors. They're secure. They're smooth with no grooves. I have my rim. It's secure. It's not bent, cracked, or broken with no unauthorized welts. I have my lug nuts. They're all secure, not bent, cracked, or broken, evenly spaced, none are missing, and there's no rust that would indicate looseness. Here I have my hub seal. It's secure. It's not bent, cracked, or broken with no leaks. And I also have my valve stem and cap. It's secure. It's not bent, cracked, or broken with no leaks. And if I had a gauge, I will check for the proper pressure. I have my DEF door. Opens and closes freely. I have my cap and seal. It's intact with no leaks. My DEF tank is secure. It's not bent, cracked, or broken with no leaks. And the cage around it is secure. It's not bent, cracked, or broken with no unauthorized welts. I also will check underneath the bus for any puddles, which will indicate leaks. And my mud flap is secure. It's not ripped or torn. Over here I have my firewall. On it I have my heater hoses, air hoses, and electrical wires. My hoses, they're secure with no abrasions, bulges, or cuts with no leaks. And the wires are secure. They're not frayed, cracked, or broken. I have my transmission dipstick. To check it, I will check with the bus running. I will pull it out, wipe it off, put it back in, pull it back out, should read between hot and cold. I will check my oil dipstick the same way, but with the bus off. I will pull it out, wipe it off, pull it back in, pull it back out. It should read between add and fill. I have my power steering pump. It's secure. It's not bent, cracked, or broken with no leaks, and the hoses to it is secure. It has no abrasions, bulges, or cuts with no leaks. I have my air compressor. It's secure. It's not bent, cracked, or broken with no leaks, and the hoses to it is secure. It has no abrasions, bulges, or cuts with no leaks. Both my power steering pump and my air compressor are gear driven. I have my power steering shaft. It's secure. It's not bent, cracked, or broken. I have my power steering fluid reservoir. It's secure. It's not bent, cracked, or broken with no leaks. I'll check here, add here if needed. The hoses to it is secure. It has no abrasions, bulges, or cuts with no leaks. I have my power steering gearbox. It's secure. It's not bent, cracked, or broken with no leaks. The hoses to it is secure. It has no abrasions, bulges, or cuts with no leaks. I have my pivot arm and bolt, my drag link, my steering knuckle, and my tire rod. They are all secure, not bent, cracked, or broken. I have my calcer nuts. They're secure, and the cotter keys are intact. The same thing I said on that side about my tires, brakes, and suspension over there, I will stay over here. Now on the side of my bus, I have my amber and red clearance lights, my student windows, stop sign lenses, my sticker is up to date, my yellow reflective tape, turning signal indicator, my amber and red reflectors. They are all clean, not cracked, broken, or missing. I'm gonna check my stop sign. It opens and closes freely. I have my rubber boot, which is secure. It has no abrasions, bulges, or cuts with no leaks. It's not flat or pancaked. And I have my wires. It's secure. They're not frayed, cracked, or broken. Now we're gonna go underneath the bus. You have 5 parts that you need to name. You have your frame, cross members, drive shaft, air tanks, and exhaust. Your frame, cross member, and drive shaft, you want to make sure that they're secure, not bent, cracked, or broken, with no unauthorized welds. And then your air tanks and your exhaust, you want to make sure that they're secure and not bent, cracked, or broken with no leaks. Now we're going to come to the back of the bus. I have my leaf spring mount. It's secure. It's not bent, cracked, or broken with no unauthorized welds. I have my leaf springs. They're secure, not bent, cracked, or broken, evenly spaced, none are missing. I have my U-bolts. They're secure and the bolts are tight. I also have my shock absorber. They're secure, not bent, cracked, or broken, or bulging with no leaks. Also back here, I have my airbag. It's secure. It's not bent. It has no abrasions, bulges, or cuts with no leaks. And I also have my torque rod. It's secure. It's not bent or twisted. Also, I have my brake chamber. It's secure. It's not bent, cracked, or broken with no leaks. The hoses to it is secure. It has no abrasions, bulges, or cuts with no leaks. I have my ABS wire. It's secure. It's not frayed, cracked, or broken. I have my brake caliper. It's secure. It's not bent, cracked, or broken. I have my brake pads. They're secure. They're not bent, cracked, or broken. Evenly worn, not dangerously thin. Also have my rotors. They're secure. They're not bent, cracked, or broken. Smooth with no grooves. Here I have my duals. I should have no less than 32 seconds of tread depth. These can be recapped or regrooved. I have my sidewalls. They're smooth with no abrasions, bulges, or cuts with no leaks. I have my bud rim. It's secure. It's not bent, cracked, or broken with no unauthorized welds. Evenly spaced and free of debris. I also have my lug nuts. They're secure. They're not bent, cracked, or broken. Evenly spaced. None are missing, and there's no sign of rust that would indicate looseness. I have my rear axle seal. It's secure. It's not bent, cracked, or broken with no leaks. I have my valve stems and caps. They're secure. They're not bent, cracked, or broken with no leaks. And if I had a gauge, I would check for the proper pressure. And also have my mud flap. It's secure. It's not ripped or torn, not dangerously hanging. I have my strobe light, which is all the way at the roof. I have my 3 red clearance lights. My amber red suit of pickup lights, my yellow reflective tape, my left turn signal, right turn signal, brake light, tail light, reverse lights, And my rear reflectors, they are all clean, not cracked, broken, or missing. Got the emergency door. Make sure it opens and closes freely. You got the door hinge. You got your windows. And you got the rubber seals that's inside the window. Okay, the same thing I said on that side about my amber and red clearance lights, my student windows, my sticker being up to date, my yellow reflective tape, my turn signal indicator, my amber and red reflectors, tires, brakes, and suspension, and my mud flap. The same thing I said on that side, I will say over here. I have my fuel door. It opens and closes freely. My cap and seal is intact with no leaks. I have my fuel tank. It's secure. It's not been cracked or broken with no leaks. And the cage around it is secure. It's not been cracked or broken with no unauthorized welts. I also will check underneath the bus for any puddles, which will indicate leaks. The importance of a pre-trip is basically just making sure that everything on the bus is secure and tight, that there's no fluids leaking, and basically just for the safety of the kids and you as the driver. As a bus driver, that's probably one of the best things that we could do every day. Plus, it's a state requirement. So for your safety and your student safety, just make sure that you check everything on your bus. Make sure that it's ready to go for your route every morning and afternoon.
Hello, my name's Kevin Jewett, bus driver for Dayton Public Schools. Today we'll be talking about bus safety and the importance of making sure that everything is totally functional as we carry our children to their designated places. As we start, we'll start with the stairwell. The stairwell, making sure that it's secure with the proper nuts and bolts. The mat is not ripped or torn as they enter the bus. The handrails are totally secure with the proper nuts and bolts and tight. As they enter the bus, on our right hand side, we have our fire extinguisher. Our fire extinguisher has a green face to it, and also make sure that the needle is in the green, meaning that it's full and the pin is intact. You have your body fluid kit and your first aid kit. Those are full also, and they're secured to the floor. You have your emergency roadside kit. Inside, you have 6 30-minute fusees and 3 red triangles. You also have additional fusees on the side of your seat over there. Up top here, we have insurance information, student contacts, and spare fuses. Then I take my seat, fasten my seat belt, my seat belt is secured with the proper nuts and bolts. My seat is also not torn or ripped. My seat belt is not frayed, cracked, or broken, and both are adjusted for my driving. At this time, I would do a mirror count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we count the crossovers. 8, 9, twice. All my mirrors are secure with the proper nuts and bolts, not bent, cracked, or broken. Also adjusted for my driving. Then I come back to my windshield. My windshield secure, is not cracked or broken, with my seal intact with no leaks. Free of debris with no obstruction for driving. From there, I come back. My hands are at 9 and 3. My steering wheel moves freely. I had no more than 2 inches of play and 2 inches and 10 degrees of play. And my horn works. At this time, I would do a safe start where I would cover my brake, make sure that my gear shift is in neutral. My parking brake is pulled. I'm going to turn this to the run position and listen for the ABS lighting sensor. ABS lighting sensor, and then I turn it to the start position. As I turn it to the start position, I turn my lights on, and I'm going to close my door. Are you going to stay outside? And I'm going to close my door. At this time, I'm gonna go ahead and check my gauges. My oil gauge show that it's rising to the proper pressure. Water gauge showing that it's rising to the proper temperature. Over here I have my volt and amp meter showing that I have the proper charge, have enough DEF and fuel for my trip, and my primary and secondary tanks are working also and rising to the proper pressure. As I come back, I have my gear shift, moves freely. I shift it all the way down, then slowly shift it all the way back up. Listen to my reverse lighting sensor. As that happens, I put it back to neutral. Gear shift works because it moves freely. Also, I have a radio check. All you do is key it up. My radio works properly because it works. And then I come over here to, this is my heater and DEF, and I make sure that this is pointed on this setting right here for the heater and DEF, and it works on high. Have my active noise on high, low, and off. Then I swing around here. I have on my turn signal, I have my windshield wipers, and that works on high, low, and off. The windshield washer disperses fluid on my windshield properly. My windshield wipers have enough tension to clean my windows, and they're not frayed, cracked, or broken, or torn, or ripped. After that, I do my turn signal and my left turn signal. Left turn signal and my indicator. Right turn signal and indicator. Four-way flashers. Headlights. And my bright lights. I also have my left defrost fan and my right defrost fan. This right here is my visor. It's secured with the proper nuts and bolts, not cracked or broken. At this time, we'll go ahead and check the rest of the lights. Up top, you have on this panel over here, you'll have your clearance lights, your amber clearance lights, and you flick them a couple of times, shows that they're working. Here, let me turn that on. Show that they're working. Then as I come down, I have my student pickup lights. They're working also. And then I have my red student pickup lights. As I open my door, my sign extends. My lights are illuminated. My stop sign lights are illuminated. The door opens freely with the glass intact, not cracked or broken, with the rubber seal with no leaks. Also, my steering wheel light is intact, it's not cracked or broken, and working. Up top, we have the clearance lights. If you can see, they flash with your marker lights. Then you have your amber student pickup lights. And then you have your red student pickup lights. Your stop sign extends with the lights illuminated. Your door opens freely, glass intact. You have your student override in the event of a late student or an emergency. You have your driver's dome and your student dome lights. All are in place, not cracked or broken or missing. And then you start with your heaters. You have your rear heater, works on high, low, and off. Your stairwell heater works on high, low, and off. Your left defrost fan works on high, low, and off. Right defrost fan works on high, low, and off. And then you have a noise kill switch. In the event you need to silence the bus, it works also because kills all the noise inside your bus. And on the outside you have a strobe light that we can't see right now. Next we'll have our 3-part brake check. Most important, you have your parking, your service, and your emergency brake check. The first one we'll do, because the bus is running, is our parking brake. In order to do that, you make sure that your parking brake is pulled, your gear shift is in neutral, you cover your brake, your service brake, and you shift the gear shift down to drive. At this point, you will go ahead and fan the accelerator about 3 times. Return your foot to the brake, shift it back to neutral. Your parking brake works because the bus did not move. Next, you would have your service brake. You make sure your parking brake is pulled, gear shift is in neutral, cover your brake with your foot shifted down to drive. Push your parking brake in, you drive about 5 miles an hour. Come to a complete stop, pop, return to neutral. Your service brake works properly because the bus did not pull to the left or the right, and it stops smoothly. Now third, you have your emergency brake check. In order to do that, make sure your parking brake is pulled, gear shift is in neutral, cover your brake, you turn your bus to the off position. While you lightly cover your brake, you turn it to the run position, listen for your ABS light and sensor. There it is. That's your ABS light and sensor. You push your parking brake in and you push your service brake down to the floor. At this point, you will, don't want to lose no more than 3 pounds of pressure in 1 minute. So they'll be sitting back timing you. And then let's say it's been a minute. So at this point, you will begin to fan your brakes down. And you'll fan between 55 and 60 pounds of pressure where you get your low air and light buzzer. Once that goes off, you'll continue to fan your brakes down between 40 and 20 pounds of pressure where your parking brake will engage. Parking brake kicked out means that my emergency brake is working. And at this point, I'll go ahead and refill my tank. So I turn this to the start position, restart my bus. My tanks are filling up to 150 pounds of pressure, where I'll listen for my air governor to kick out at 120 PSI. While that's happening, I would check the rest of the bus. All right, first thing I check is my the student aisleway. The mat is secured to the floor with the proper nuts and bolts. The mat is not torn or ripped. I'm also checking my student seats. They're secured with the proper nuts and bolts, not torn or ripped, and both of them are free of debris. And so I would check each one of the seats as I'm coming back, just pulling on it slightly, making sure that they're secure. You want me to stop right here?
Yeah, it's fine. Do we need to go on the other side?
Yeah, whatever.
Okay. And action.
As I'm back here in the back, I'll check my emergency door. The handle moves freely. Emergency light and buzzer comes on. Door opens freely. Then you have your emergency hood. You push up, turn your knob. Got the emergency lights and buzzer. Then you have your emergency windows. Pull your latch. Open the windows. Move freely. Emergency lights and buzzer. You check this one the same way. Emergency lights and buzzer. And then this one right here, the same way I checked that emergency hatch in the back, I would check this one the same way also. Then I'll return to my seat. All right, next, the instructor would go outside and I would check my all the outside lights. First, I would have my amber clearance lights, and I would have my window cracked. and I would yell out amber clearance lights, and I would flick them with the marker lights working also. And he would give me a thumbs up. Next, I would do my amber student pickup lights, and those are flashing also, and I would be showing them that they're working. Then I'd do red student pickup lights with my stop sign illuminated, and he would check them and give me the thumbs up. Then I close the door. Then I say left turn signal and indicator, right turn signal and indicator, my four-way flashers, headlights, and my bright lights. And then they would come back, and I'll open up the door, and I say, well, if you would, please, ma'am or sir, check the lights on the rear of my bus, and as you're walking back, check my amber and red clearance lights on the sides of the bus. And so they will be on their way back there, and I'll close my door. And the first thing I will hit is my amber and red clearance lights on the side of the bus, and those are the ones running around up top. And they'll give me a thumbs up. Next would be my strobe light, and then I'll wait for them. They give me the thumbs up. And then my red clearance lights in the rear of the bus, and I'll do that the same way, just flicking the switch down. Next is my amber student pickup lights, and then my red student pickup lights with the sign extended. Then I'll look in the mirror. He'll give me the thumbs up also. My student override, lights flashing, sign is extended. Left turn signal, and my right turn signal. Four-way flashers, my brake light, my tail light, and my reverse lights with the indicator. I would turn it back to neutral, wait on his signal as a flash, then I will go. That completes my pre-trip.